Hello everybody, welcome to BODHI. I'm Tamal Dodge, this is Casey Newman. We're going to do an hour vinyasa practice and we will begin laying on our back, which we all know is always a treat. Soles of the feet together, knees dropped open for a Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand glues to the heart, right hand plants on the belly. We close the eyes, we soften our jaw. And most importantly, we find the breath. Looking to pull our attention to the inhales, the exhales, the Paraka Rajaka. And ideally ironing out any inconsistencies. And as you find your natural rhythm, your natural pulse, we hear this word often in a yoga class, to set your intention. And what I personally find helpful is, before we get in setting our intention, we have to sift through the fabric of our life, examine our body, examine the mind, and start to go through our own personal little checklist of the things that we want to either work on, work through, let go of. Because there's a big difference between mindless intentions and mindful intentions. And the way we make them enriching is to put some thought behind it. Maybe in today's practice, you're thinking about doing something for others, stepping outside of yourself. Looking to iron out any kinks in your body so that you can use your body as a vehicle for service. Let's take a big inhale. Hold it at the top. Out of the mouth. Again, inhale deeply through the nose, holding at the peak. Let it go. Go back to breathing through the nose. Make your breath sound like you're fogging a mirror with your mouth shut. Find the audible ujjayi. Let's extend your arms overhead, straighten your legs out, hook your thumbs together. Press your thumbs into each other so you traction out the shoulders and then point through your toes. So rather than a dorsiflex, you're doing a little plantar flex. It's that elongation of just stretching from end to end. And then switch the hooking of the thumbs, so just reversing that little grip. Bend the right knee into your chest, hug it in with the arms. Send your right arm out to the right, look to the right, twist the right knee across the body to the left. I like to pick my left hip up and do what Casey did, a little scoot to the right. And we're just breathing into the sensations in our lower back. And let's switch sides, hug the left knee into your chest. Send your left arm out to the left, look to the left, twist the left knee to the right, maybe pick the hips up and do a little scoot to the left. And we always start these practices where everyone's like, oh, we're on our back, we're twisting, it's so nice and mellow, but just that little calm before the storm. You know, you go to the beach, there's clouds, seems to be no wind. 5 minutes later, it's storming, rain, everything. But we'll find some grace and beauty in the midst of all of that. So let's hug the left knee into your chest and hug both knees into your chest. Lift your head and shoulders up. Reach your arms forward. Palms will face each other. Now get your knees directly over the hips. Lift your feet up the level of the knees. Perfect. So this is going to feel a little bit awkward to start with, and if this strains your neck, you can always place your hands behind your head, or if it strains your low back, you can slide your palms underneath your butt. I want you to take your right heel a little bit further out than your left, and then I want you to touch it to the ground, then bring it back to where it was. Then switch sides. Left leg a little further out than the right, touch the heel, bring it back to where it was. On your own, just like that. Very slow, controlled movement. So we don't want to thump the heel on the floor. It should be the most subtle of taps to the floor. You guys seem to have this. I'll be back in an hour. And once you've done the left leg, let's meet back with both legs together hovering. Now you're going to take both heels out, let them touch the floor. Bring them back to where they were. On your own. This is where the shakes come in. This is where you're like, oh, well, hello. It's getting a little heated. Let's meet with both legs together, hovering where they were with the knees over the hips. Turn your palms to face down. Now your arms will pulse. Oh, I know, we didn't even take a break. We're just going into the next one. Let your head and shoulders move a little bit with the arms as well. So it's not just like we're fanning the floor, but we're really creating this carrying of the torso with the hovering, with the pulsing. Hug your knees to your chest. Good job, Casey. So you're going to take your hands behind your head, bicycle crunches, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Just start flowing through them, getting your momentum. Keep doing your bicycles. Try doing your bicycles with your legs straight, scissoring the whole time. Oh, goodness. Hello, abdominal muscles. Hug your knees to your chest. Wonderful. So point your legs up to the sky. Separate your legs hips width apart. Dorsiflex the feet. Hands cup the side of the head. Left hand touches right toe. Switch sides and switch on your own. And even though this may be challenging for your hamstrings, I want you to straighten your legs as much as they'll go, even if they tremble a little. I know, we're just going. Hug your knees to your chest. Oh. So keep your knees into your chest. Reach your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers together except for your index fingers. Lift your feet up the level of the knees. Get your knees over the hips. Head and shoulders lift. Take your pointer fingers and your hands that are interlaced to the outside of the right leg. Pause. Try to peel the right shoulder blade off the floor. Oh. Switch sides. Peel that left shoulder blade off the floor. Switch sides. Switch. Switch sides. This time, I want you to point your left leg to the sky. Now, this is going to feel super awkward. Keep what you have. Let your right heel go further out and touch the floor, then bring it back to where it was. On your own, just like that. What is this movement, right? Who thinks of this stuff? Let's bring the right leg back to where it was. Rebend the left leg. Straighten the right leg to the sky. Take your arms to the outside of the left leg. So guess what? The left leg extends forward, touches the floor, bring it back. On your own, a little pulse. We'll bring the left leg back to where it was. Rebend the right knee, hug the knees to the chest. Oh, I think you got one more in you. So point your legs up to the sky. Open your legs nice and wide. Now, if this is too much for your legs, you can always have a little bend in them. You're going to reach your arms between your legs, interlace your fingers the opposite way you just did. So we're balancing out little subtle details in the wrists and the shoulders. Now, as you crunch, I want you to lift your butt up an inch as well. So as the shoulder blades lift, the butt lifts on your own. This one will get you. This one gets me every time. It's like awkward too, like you're rubbing your belly and tapping your head at the same time. Hold a crunch. Now, while you're here, just shoulder blades lift, 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 pulsing, 10 seconds. Hug your knees to your chest. Oh, here we are. Set your feet on the floor, heels to the butt. I want you to karate chop the outer edges of your hands, wrists, and forearms into the floor, and then inhale, lift your hips. Toes point forward as they turn a little inward. Inner thighs roll down. We breathe. Take a big inhale, lift a little bit more, then exhale, come on down. Hug your knees to your chest. Stay happy baby, arms go split between your legs. You can hold the outer edges of your feet, or if that's not available, you can grab the ankles or maybe the backs of the legs. Notice if your butt's lifting off the floor, think about gluing the sacrum. It's like that upside down triangle at the very bottom of your lower back, and plant that into the floor. If you notice your lower back is bubbling up, drawing your belly to descend the lumbar, plug your shoulder blades into the upper back. So you widen the sternum and collarbones, and you sink the back of the shoulder, the posterior deltoid down. Hug the knees to the chest. You're going to rock up and down till you get enough momentum that you're seated, but then we'll bypass seated and find your way to down dog. I'm not going to give you a lot of specifics of how to get there, just as long as we all get there. Once you're in down dog, you can pedal your legs out, shift your weight side to side, do any fidgeting that feels appropriate. And eventually we will settle with the legs hips width apart. Heels disappear behind the toes. Arms are shoulder width apart. Fingers should point forward, the hands spread wide. The forearms should lift, they get buoyant. The upper outer arms wrap down and around. The belly goes in, the hips move back, the thigh bones move back. Let's lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. So notice how your chest wants to open up. For most of us, we want to throw our body weight into the left palm and the left foot, and the right side of your body starts to open up. We want to check everything. It's always about the details. Get heavier in your right palm. Wrap the right tricep down. This should help you hollow out your left armpit, giving us a little more structure, integrity in what we're doing. Come up high in the left toes. Let's bring the right knee into the nose. Shoulders are over the wrists. So we press the earth away so there's a little protraction in the shoulder. This way you feel the scapulas move away from the spine. Without lifting the palms, see if you can step your foot between the hands. Back heel down, let's rise, warrior one, reach to the sky. So we sink into the front knee so it rests at 90 degrees. We're pressing the right calf to the right shin. We seal the outer edge of that back foot and spin the left inner thigh back, so we're securing the left femoral head more into the hip socket. We draw the right hip back, we scoop the tailbone under. With every exhale, think about pulling in your pelvic floor or a Kegel Mula Bandha, and then drawing in your stomach, lifting the chest, Uddiyana Bandha. If your neck and head is hanging forward, think about tucking your chin back and in so you work your deep neck flexors, Jalandhara Bandha. Think about wrapping the upper outer arms forward and getting the arms straighter. Now, just like we did earlier in the practice, we're going to hook the thumbs. Press the thumbs into each other and use that traction to help straighten the arms out and create that shoulder engagement, that stimulation. Now we're just gonna make this a little more spicy. So keep what you have. I want you to start tilting your torso forward. You can have your torso 4 to 6 inches above the right quad, or maybe an inch or two above that right quad, depending on your level of flexibility and also what you're trying to accomplish today. Just think about taking the skin of that right hip and pulling it back. Yes. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come down. Let's get out of there. Let's step back to plank and let's lower through your first chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll lift the left leg up. We'll bend the knee, open up the hip. Notice what the chest is doing. Think about lifting that right armpit more, getting heavier in the left palm. Come up high on the right toes. Left knee to nose. Shoulders over wrists. Cat pose. Try to do it without lifting the palm, step it through. Back heel down, let's rise warrior one. So we're setting up front heel to back heel. Let your back foot turn in at 45. We spin the right inner thigh back, so we're securing the right femoral head in the hip socket. We're settling into the front knee, we're pulling in the pelvic floor, we're drawing in the belly. Then we also think about squaring the ribs. And what that means is you're taking the left side of your rib cage back and you're drawing the right side of your rib cage forward. This way we're not cheating out or twisting unnecessarily. Think about which way you hooked your thumbs before and try to hook them the opposite way. And as if your thumbs were a chain link or a piece of paper, try to press them away from each other like you're going to tear it apart. And we breathe. It's like 90 in this room right now. Casey's going to get all kinds of sweat today going. It's like a detox flow. We'll start to lean the torso forward. Again, you're in control of how far you're leaning forward. Obviously, the lower you go, the harder it is. Don't forget to pull the left hip crease back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come down. Let's step back. Let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high on your left toes. Let's flip your dog. Drop the right foot to the left. Take the right hand off the mat. Reach it up and overhead. Try lifting from your chest. Create more of an upper back bend versus a lower back bend. Come back to the three-legged dog, right hand to the mat, right leg to the sky. Square the hips. Let's lunge the right foot between your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Run your arms down the ribs. So we initially start with sinking into the front leg, squaring the hips, firing up the back leg. So we're pressing the left thigh bone into the hamstring, pulling back through the inner left heel. Now we reach the arms forward. This time, interlace the fingers together except for the index fingers, like we did earlier as well. See, everything has its little connectors. We did everything in the beginning so that we could weave it through the practice and find those links. Take your hands at prayer. Warrior three, back foot comes up. Stabilize, get heavy in the right big toe. That's the balancing point. In fact, if you want to play around just to kind of troubleshoot, you can put the weight of your body in the pinky toe side of that right foot, and immediately you're going to know why you don't do that. You're going to start hopscotching all over the room. So heavy in that right big toe, micro bend in the right knee. The left leg should be straight as can be. More energy in that left leg. Then more mindfulness in what's going on in that left inner thigh and hip. So I want you to spin the left inner thigh up, roll the left hip down. Inhale to stand. Exhale, sets the left foot next to right. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold your body forward. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. That looks great. So we lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high on the right toes, and like we did before, flip your dog. Drop the left foot to the right, take the left hand off the mat, reach it up and overhead, lift from the chest. Let's come back to the three-legged dog, left hand to the mat, left leg to the sky. Let's lunge the left foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Run your arms down the ribs. So the palms will face each other or they'll face the floor. Small sense of cobra in the chest. Find length in the cervical spine by tucking the chin in, leading with the crown of the head forward. Now, like we did earlier, we'll reach the arms forward, interlace the fingers with the opposite pinky on top, and let the index shine forward. Think about hugging the upper outer arms in. Oh, Casey's already getting the sweats. It's not only like 90 degrees in this room right now, but it's probably 150% humidity. It's like my footsteps are sticking to the ground. Hands at prayer. Warrior three. Heavy in the left big toe, active in the quad. So you want to have this like microscopic bend in the left leg. So there's some movement in the joint and we're not locking it out. However, the hovering leg, since we're not bearing any weight on it, should be straight. You're trying to touch your inner right heel on the back wall. Inhale to stand. Exhale, sets the right foot next to left. Second sun salute. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high in your left toes. Let's bring the right knee under and across your body to your left elbow and hold there. So kick your right leg to the left and set your foot on the floor. Now we'll spin the left heel down and reach your left arm up to the sky for falling triangle. It's like you were in a triangle pose and somebody just pushed you over and you landed like this. This is how I always see Casey on the beach. You walk down the beach, she's just in this pose for hours. And we're going to go back to the three-legged dog. So left hand to the mat, right leg up and back behind you. Lunge the right foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Run your arms down the ribs. So take your shoulder blades, start to sandwich them into your upper back. And like JJ would say, also take your shoulder blades and slide them into your back pockets. Now take your hands at prayer. Hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Twist it out. Look to get the elbows stacked. So we're always wanting or looking to line up the long axis of bones. So we want the right elbow over the right wrist, over the left wrist, over the left elbow. And when we do that, we can get our thumbs closest to the heart center of the sternum. Then we take the outer right hip and move it back. The left leg gets more energized, and if you want more, you can open up your arms, or you can wrap it up if you feel it's not too early. Not everybody's practicing in a 90-degree room at home, so some of us might still be cold. Now I want you to think about crescent pose. Power up through your legs, and on an inhale, come all the way up, reach to the sky. Oh. Exhale, hands come down. Pause, standing splits, left leg goes up. Walk your hands towards your right leg, get nice and close, then slide the right hand to the right, slide the left hand to the left so your arms are wide. tent the earth with the fingers, and then dip your chest, your sternum towards the right shin bone. Let your elbows bend and flare out to the sides. Urdhva Prasrita Eka Padasana. Similar principle that we've been working on, that left inner thigh is leading that left leg up. So most of the time, people want to lead with the outer left thigh up to the sky. It's the inner left leg. Draw your chest forward, bend the right leg, hands come to prayer, warrior 3 again. Yes. All roads lead to warrior 3, apparently. No, they don't. Just a little bit. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, set the left foot next to right. Oh. Third sun salute. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold your body forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepper, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high in the right toes. Bring the left knee under and across the body to the right elbow. Pause. Kick the left leg out to the right. Set it on the floor. Spin the right heel down. Send the right arm up to the sky. Falling triangle. Notice if that left hip is drooping to the floor. You want to firm in the outer left hip. We know where we're going. Right hand down. Left leg goes up and back. Three-legged dog. Lunge the foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Reach your arms down the ribs. You know, as our body gets a little more heated, our body gets fatigued even, we tend to let some of the alignment go. So we have to remind ourselves to check in and go for quality versus quantity. So if you need a break, you can. Otherwise, we're squaring the hips, taking the slouch out of the upper back. Hands come to prayer. We hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. We give the back leg some energy, and if you want more, you can open your arms or wrap it up. Your choice. Of course, don't forget to breathe. Let's think crescent, and inhale, come all the way up, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands come down, standing splits, right leg comes up. Walk your hands towards your left leg, get close, slide the left hand to the left, slide the right hand to the right, cup the floor with the fingers, and then dip your chest, your sternum towards the left shin bone. So we're gonna try something on this side. I want you to bend your left leg a little bit and let your ribs and your torso rest on that left leg. Now try to keep that connection of torso on thigh, and then start to straighten the left leg out. Oh, yes. The depth should be a little better when you do it like that. So now we'll draw your chest forward, bend the left leg a little bit, hands come to prayer, warrior 3. Inhale to stand. Exhale, set the right foot next to left. Wow, cramp asana, right? This one on your own, Surya Namaskar A. Once you finish your sun salute, we will all meet in downward facing dog, settling there. Wonderful. So let's take a big inhale through the nose. Hold your breath at the top. Out of the mouth. Let's come up high in the toes, bend your knees, look forward, exhale, step or spring. Inhale, glance out. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit low, reach high, Utkatasana. Exhale, stand up, same exhale, prayer in front of the heart. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Back heel down, inhale, rise, warrior pose. Exhale, hands come down. Let's step back, let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, hands come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath at the top. Out of the mouth. So we're going to do another round. This one's going to be a little mixed up and eclectic. Let's come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, chair pose. Pause. Shift the weight into your left foot, lift the right foot up. Cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee or quad, then sit a little bit deeper in that left leg. So you're in a pigeon variation of chair pose. Inhale to stand. Exhale, set the right foot next to left. Pray you're in front of the heart. Inhale, chair pose. Pause. So now you're going to put the weight in your right foot, lift the left foot up, cross the left ankle over the top of the right quad or knee, and then sit a little bit deeper in that right leg. So we want that dorsiflex in your left foot, so we're protecting the ligaments in the left knee joint, the MCL, LCL, ACL. We don't want it to be loose. Inhale to stand. Exhale, set the left foot next to right. Prayer in front of the heart. Last chair of today. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, glance out. But as you exhale, just fold. Let's squat down in your tiptoes. Let's do crow pose. Bakasana. Feet together, knees wide. Let's wedge your triceps against the shins. Plant the palms relatively close to the feet, about 4, maybe 6 inches. Lift your butt in the air. Get your elbows stacked over the wrist, and one or both feet will lift. Put a little cat pose in your upper back. Yes. Step back, shoot back, float back. After the vinyasa, we meet in downward facing dog. So for this one, I want you to stay in down dog, and I want you to lift your right foot an inch off the floor. So that means you have to take your right upper thigh bone, the femur, and suck it up into the hip socket. Takes a little quadratus lumborum, a little QL to do that, a little suction cup. One thing I like about JJ's class is always going like watching kids play G.I. Joes. Knee to nose. Step it through. Back heel down. Lead with the left arm, come up, warrior 2. Oh, it's like an external version of Sri Namaskar B. The pigeon chair is external rotation, warrior 2 is external rotation. So we set up front heel to back heel. Your back foot turns in a little bit like 10 degrees. Then we press the left thigh bone into the hamstring. We extend forward through the inner right thigh. We hug the outer right hip in. Recycle the tailbone under, so you're not sticking your butt out and dumping in the low back. Heart lifts. And sit with it for a little bit. Sometimes when we meet somebody new, we got to talk to them for a little while to get to know them. Couldn't be any more similar when it comes to our yoga practice. You're having a conversation right now with warrior 2. People are like, I don't know if I like this conversation I'm having. It's like you go through these mixed feelings, like, okay, this isn't so bad. Then you go, okay, this is intense. And then that passes, and you start to go, okay, I'm going to surrender. And what helps you work through those emotions and thoughts and feelings that come up is breathing. Inhale, exhale. Turn your right palm up, reach it up, drop the left hand to left thigh. With your next exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back to plank, and let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So while you're in dog pose, again, we're just going to lift the left foot up an inch. So there's that little suction cup. Try not to let that weight drive into the right heel. Try to keep the hips leveled out as you're doing this. A little QL engagement. Knee to nose. Step it through. Back heel down. Lead with the right arm. Come up. warrior two. So we always want to adjust enough so that we're wide in a stance. The way you know you're in the right position is if your left thigh is parallel with the floor, then you set up front heel to back heel. The back foot angles in at like 10 degrees. The right thigh bone presses into the hamstring. And the tailbone goes under. Notice if your torso is leaning too far forward or too far back. Get your torso stacked directly over the hips. Take the gaze over the left hand and start conversing. It's really a conversation with your body, because your body tells you what muscles need to be worked on, what's tight. It's giving you consistent feedback. We just have to listen. And you really think about it, your body is communicating with you all day long. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm tired, my legs are shaking. Turn your left palm up, reach it up, drop the right hand to right thigh. With your next exhale, windmill the hands down. Let's step back and let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath at the top. Out of the mouth. Child's pose, knees to the floor, sit on the heels, forehead to the earth. Catch your breath. Well-deserved break. Extend the arms forward. Let's find down dog. We've got our last standing sequence here, guys. And then we can start cooling down. Light at the end of the tunnel. So let's lift your right leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high on the left toes. Bring the right knee to your right elbow. Shoulders over wrists. So try to lift the knee a little higher. I'm going to give two options. You can stay just like this. Some of you guys may lean forward, chaturanga your arms, and land the inner right thigh on the outer right tricep. Maybe your back foot pops up. Maybe the right leg straightens forward, so you're in Kundanyasana. Then for everybody, three-legged dog. Right leg goes up and back. Beautiful. Lunge the right foot between the hands. Back heel turns down. Climb onto the fingers. Wedge your right arm against the outer right calf. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Open Parsvottanasana. So I want you to take the thumb of your left hand to the back of your head. And I want your palm to frame the skull, the occiput. So you want your thumb right at the bottom of your skull there. And then I want you to lean your head back a little bit into your hand as you turn your chest towards the sky. Yes. This will help prevent us from drooping in our head in one awkward position or the other, or creating an unnecessary lateral flexion. Now keep that, reach your left arm back up to the sky. Turn your left hand down, reach overhead. Let the left bicep hang about 1 inch or 2 above the left cheekbone. Couple more breaths. If you want a little extra, you can reach your right arm forward. Try to take those front ribs in a little bit. You know, it's like you ever tripped and you fell on the ground and you went, do a little of that there. Come up, warrior two. Turn your right palm up, reach it up, drop the left hand to left thigh. With your next exhale, hands will find the earth. We'll step back to plank and we'll lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high on those right toes. Left knee to left tricep, shoulders over wrists, and hold. So press down to lift the knees higher. Stay here or lean forward, chaturanga the arms. Maybe that left thigh rests on the left tricep. Maybe the right leg lifts. Everybody, three-legged dog. Left leg goes up and back. Lunge the left foot between the hands. Turn the back heel down. Wedge your left arm against the outer left calf. Reach the right arm to the sky. So I want you to take, again, your right thumb to the back of your head. Let that right thumb rest at the base of the skull, the occiput. And just lean back a little bit as you turn your chest. And keep that wonderful position you have in your head. Reach the right arm up, then turn the right hand down and reach over your head. Perfect. Keep sealing in the outer edge of that back foot, hugging the inner legs towards each other, getting longer through the sides of the waist. If you want more, reach the bottom arm forward. Let's come up to warrior two. Turn your left palm up, reach it up, drop the right hand to right thigh. With your next exhale, hands will windmill to the ground. We'll step back to plank. We'll take your vinyasa and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Nice little sweaty practice today, guys. Let's lift your right leg up. Lunge the right foot between your hands. Drop the left knee to the floor. Release your left toes. Scoot the left leg way back for a moment. Then straighten your front leg. You want your hips stacked directly over the left knee. You don't want your hips going past that left knee. Dorsiflex your right foot so the right toes point up. If you need to put your hands on blocks or books, you can. The chest draws forward and we're just going to hang here. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Let's rebend your front knee. We'll find pigeon pose. So you're going to walk your right foot across your mat to your left hand. Drop the right knee to your right hand. And go to your forearms, lie all the way into it. If you need a block or a bolster or a book or something underneath that right hamstring, I like to use a towel. We'll be here for a minute. Winding down. Let's come onto your hands. Let's find downward facing dog. So from down dog, let's lift the left leg up. Lunge the left foot between the hands. Drop the right knee, release the right toes, scoot the right leg back. Straighten your front leg. You want your hips stacked directly over the right knee, dorsiflex the left foot. Again, you can always elevate your hands by placing them on books, blocks, whatever you got. You can always wipe the sweat off your face on your shin bones. We'll rebend your front leg and we'll find pigeon pose. Walk your left foot to your right hand, drop the left knee to left hand. You can use a prop underneath the left hamstring if you like. And we'll breathe. So we'll come onto the hands. We'll find downward facing dog. You can shake it out, pedal it out, do any fidgeting that feels appropriate. Let's lower your knees to the floor. Cross one ankle over the other. Sit behind your feet, swoop your legs through to the front. We're going to scoot forward and lay on your back. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, set your feet on the floor, heels to the butt. Make sure your toes are pointing forward or maybe slightly inward. We just don't want our feet flailing outward. Plant the palms, lift the hips, bridge. You can interlace your fingers underneath the back, tuck the upper arm bones underneath you. If you want a deeper back bend, take upward bow, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Take an inhale, lift a little more. Then exhale, come on down. Hug the knees to the chest. Place your forehead onto the knees. Take a very big inhale. Hold your breath. Squeeze everything, all tension, all stress into one tight little ball. Let it go. Sprawl open. Shavasana. You've arrived. So with your eyes closed, your face soft, your feet, knees, palms dropped open. And this is the time, this is the place where we drift. Drift into a place where we are restoring our body and our mind, recouping energy that was lost. Rest. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. 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 Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasade Gaudara Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Bhaktavidam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Together, take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Let it go. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring movement back to the body. With your eyes still shut, you'll roll over to whatever side you like. And with your eyes still closed, let's come up to seated. Sit up tall, take your hands at prayer in front of your heart. Follow your breath. Life can be a storm. It also can be a sunny day. But the way we build that shelter for when it is stormy, that umbrella, is to make sure that we have a strong spiritual infrastructure in place. Rooted in meditating, reflecting, helping other people, engaging in spiritual activities, so that no matter what's going on around us, it's not going to affect the environment within us. And we spend so much time and energy working on keeping the physical body healthy, but much of the time we neglect the most important things, the exercising of the soul. Because in yoga they say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. I'm not this body. And when we do that, we're ready for anything. Let's take a big inhale. Hold your breath. Let it go. Namaste.